Hello and welcome to the Real-Esteem podcast. Today is May the 9th, 2018. I'm your host, Patrick Tabor, and today on the Marriage Edition, we're going to talk about a threefold cord. If you'd like to listen to any of our previous podcasts or get more information about our book, please visit us at enith.com, EYNIITH.com. Okay, today we're going to briefly talk about how to cover one another in marriage. Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken." So I want to hopefully impart to you today that two are better than one, meaning you have to work together in a marriage to work out all of your circumstances. You're not going to always agree on everything, but even work together on how to disagree appropriately. You may not come to the same conclusion, but sooner or later, there's got to be give and take between one another. And you have to decide what is the best reward we're going to get if we just work this out. You're not going to always get what you want. He or she, your spouse is not going to always get what they want. But, sometimes the greater good is allowing the other person to get what they need for that moment, whereas another opportunity will come up later. It's not a battle. It's not a competition. It's more about being able to work consistently with each other on different situations. So two is always better than one. Scripture says if they fall, the one is there to lift up the other. You always need someone to cover you or have your back or be able to support you when you're low. It's always good for one person in the house to have it together. So we always need to be praying and seeking God's face for each and every day for the trials or the trouble that may come. But, there's going to be days where you're not going to have it together. It's just a fact. There's going to be days where your spouse is not going to have it together. When he or she does not have it together, you need to be that support, that cover for her or him, and vice versa. When you're having a bad day, they need to be that support for you. Let's just admit it. There's going to be days where you're just not going to be on your game. You're not going to be at the top of what you're good at. You may make mistakes, and when those days happen, you need somebody who's not going to spend their time telling you about everything you did wrong, but you need someone to pick you back up so you can get back on track. It says, "Woe to him who is alone when he falls and has no other or not another to lift him up." It's a bad thing when you fall down and you have nobody to pick you up, nobody to support you, nobody to encourage you, nobody to help you move to the next step or to gain back what you may have lost in your fall. It says, again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? In a marriage, you can't, it's kind of like with your, when circumstances come and you may try to go sleep in another room, or what I've heard recently is that most men tend to go to Walmart when they're mad. Regardless, you've got to find a way to work those things out. And it says two lie together, they keep warm. You should try to keep warm. You should stay together. You should keep that relationship warm. Keep it connected. Don't allow things to come in and separate you. They're going to come, but you can't allow them to separate you. Always remember that your spouse has your back and vice versa. You have theirs. And eventually that will just be a kind of like common knowledge that regardless of how bad I am or how many mistakes I may make, my heart is right for my spouse and their heart is right towards me. Once you keep that, it's not a lot that the enemy can do to take you down. So it also says, "And though a man prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him." Whether you're the leader of your home or your spouse is being in an attack, when your spouse is being attacked or you're being attacked, it may be simple at first for you to avoid or to ignore or to fight against what's coming against you. You may be able to fight for your whole house, but sooner or later, more may come, and you two need to stand together when that happens, because if you're trying to do it alone, you can be overtaken. And the scripture ends saying a threefold cord is not quickly broken. One of the things we like to talk about in marriage counseling is to explain what the threefold cord really is. If you really think about it, you have a husband and a wife. And so what would be that third cord? Well, we like to say that third cord is Jesus. And if you intertwine those, they're not easily broken. I mean, you're not going to break them apart. Sooner or later, one of the spouses is going to be the weak link. It's not going to be Jesus. It's always going to be one of the spouses. So, but if you two are strong with each other and you're strong with Jesus, you're not going to be quickly or easily broken, deterred, or shuddered. You're going to be able to be strong and be able to hold a weight way beyond the capacity that you have alone. So just remember that you want to always cover your mate. You want to support and be there for them. Regardless of the circumstances, try your best to be that support system for one another so that when trials and issues do come in your life, you know that if you fall back, you've got somebody there to catch you. I hope you got something out of this today. Be blessed. Grace and peace.